Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to EnggAdda. So today we are going to discuss what is request param annotation, why we are using request param annotation, and how we can use it. Everything we are going to discuss in this video. Okay. So first of all, let me try to explain you what is request param annotation. So what is its purpose? So this request param annotation is used in the Spring Boot REST API development. And what is its purpose? Its purpose is to supply the additional parameters to the base URL. Okay, so let me try to show you. So let's say, let me go to the Postman, and let's say we have one API here, we have one URL here, and we want to put additional parameters after this URL. So with the help of request param, we can provide those additional parameters here. Here you can see, if you type, let's say length, and let's say it is 2. So here you can see this additional parameters is coming. Okay, so this is how, and this is the purpose of request param. Okay, so with the help of request param annotation, we can provide the additional URLs or additional parameters to the base URL. Okay, and why we are using request parameter? There would be a couple of more annotation that carry out this work. We have query parameter as well. I will try to discuss why we are using query parameters and what is the difference between the request parameter with the query parameter. So there are a couple of other ways also we can provide the additional parameters to the base URL. But why we are using request parameter? Okay, so first of all, let me try to tell you that there is a two other ways, like using query parameter and using path variable. We can provide the additional parameters to the base URL. But now comes the picture why we are using at the rate request parameter. So request parameter is mainly used when you want to provide the additional parameters which are most of the time optional. Okay, so when you are using the path variable for the additional parameter, then that path variable parameter would be always mandatory to be in the URL. But this is not the case when you are using request parameter. You can most of the time whatever parameter are providing in the base URL, that would be optional. Okay, it can be mandatory also, but most of the time it is optional. So here comes the picture of why. Okay, so the purpose is to supply the additional parameter to the base URL. Why we are using it? So that we can use both of the options. Either it can be, either our additional parameter can be optional or the mandatory as well. But this is not the case for the others one. And I will try to discuss you what is the difference between the request parameter and the query parameter in some other video. Okay, so these two are clear now. How we can implement request parameter, I will try to show you those things as well. So for that, I already have created one Spring Boot application and I have implemented the Swagger in it. Okay, if you don't know what is Swagger, so let me try to tell you. Swagger is a tool which try to document our APIs. Okay, I already have one video on my channel where I have integrated the Swagger in a Spring Boot application, developed the CRUD application there, and try to integrate Swagger in it. So Swagger is used to document these APIs. Okay, so I have integrated this Swagger in it, and uh, this is let me try to brief you about the application as well. So we have created one entity which is product, and we have these four attributes here: ID, name, price, and the quantity. And coming to the repository, we have the product repository, which is extending the JPA repository. Coming to the product service, we have one product service interface and service implementation, where we are where we are implementing all the four CRUD methods. And then finally, we have the product controller, which is using all those four CRUD methods. So we have the find all API, we have the insert API, we have find by ID API, we have the update by ID API, and we have delete API. Now let me try to show you this configuration for the database connectivity. So we are using MySQL as a database. We have provided the URL for it, username and the password, and these are some additional configuration, and this is the port number on which our application will be up. Okay, let me try to remove this, it is not used. So let me try to run this application and try to show you these endpoints in the Swagger, and then I will try to show you what all the records we have, and then I will try to implement at the rate request parameter there. So just you can see our application is up on the port number 9000, and if you'll go there and if you will try to open the Swagger locally, you can see these APIs are listed here in the Swagger. So these are the APIs that we have developed: update by ID, insert, find all, find by ID, and delete. So let me try to go to the find all and try to hit this API. So you can go to the try it out and execute it. And here you can see in the response body, we have this list of products. Okay, so we have, as of now, we have 5 products in our DB. So we have product ID 1, which is tablet. Then we have the second product, we have the third, fourth, and fifth product. So as of now, we have 5 products. Now I just want to put the additional parameters to this find all API. Okay, here you can see I just want to put some additional parameter here, and that parameter could be either mandatory or the optional. So with the help of at the rate request parameter, we can carry it out. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how we can implement it. So let me try to go there, and let me try to go to the product controller, and here you can see we have this find all API. So similarly, I just want to create one another API, so there I can add this additional parameters. So just copy this, paste it here, and let me try to name the methods here. So let's say get all products, and here let's say it is find all products. Okay, and let me try to pass the request parameter here. Okay, and let's say this is length. So first of all, let me try to tell you what we are going to implement here. So we are providing one length, and with the help of that length, we are going to find out the top products. So let's say our length is 2. So we are going to find out only top products, top 2 products, and try to return it from this API. So those things we are going to do here. Okay. So let's say our request parameter is length, and let's say it is int length. Okay. So we are good. Now let me try to pass this. So first of all, let me try to go to the service method. Okay. So I'm inside the service interface, go to the implementation of it. And similarly, we have to create one method here inside the product service interface as well as in the product service simple, which will be called inside the API, the new API that we are going to develop. Okay. This find all products. We are not going to use this find all. Okay. So let me try to go there and just copy this, paste it, and let's say it is find all products, and here we are passing the length. Okay, so if we'll go down, sorry, copy this, go inside the implementation, and let's say let me try to override the method that I have created as of now in the product service interface. So this is the one. Okay, now we have the find all products, and we are passing the length here, and let's say the return type is like modifier is public for it, and return type is list of products. Okay, so we are good. Now let me try to implement it. So what we are going to do, we are passing this length, and based upon that length, we are finding out the top those products. Okay, so let's say length is 2, then we are finding out the top 2 products. So first of all, I'm just going to create a list of products, uh, top products. Okay, and this would be, or you can say it is all products. And now what we need to find out all of them. So we can use the find all method, which is provided by the JPA itself, using this product repository. So we are finding out all the products as of now. And now what I will do, I will try to create one another list which will be filtering out the top products based upon the length. Okay, so top products, okay, equal to all products dot sub list, and here you need to pass the size. Okay, so let's say we want from 0 to max of the size and the length. Okay, so sorry, mean of the size and length. So let's say math dot mean and length comma all products dot size. Okay, so let me try to explain you this. So what we are going to do, we are going to find out the top products, okay, based upon the length. So let's say the length is 2. So we want to find out the top 2 products. So with the help of this sub list, we are passing the starting point of this product would be the first product, and then minimum of length and the size. So let's say the size is 5 and length is 2, so minimum of this 2 would be 2. Okay, so we want to find out the products from 0 to 2, and 2 is excluded, so 0 and 1, so 2 product will be listed out. Okay, and let's say if the size is only 1, then the minimum of this 2 would be 1, and we want to return only because we have only one products at that time, at that scenario, so we will be returning the 1. So that is what we are doing here. Okay, now let me try to return it. Let's say top products, and yeah, we are good. Let me try to go there to the controller, and we have the method which is find all products, and we are passing the length. So we are good now. Now let me try to run it and then try to show you. So just wait for a few seconds and it will be up. So you can see our application is up on the port number 9000. And now let me try to go to the Swagger and try to refresh it. Okay, so here you can see we have this additional API which is find all products. If you'll go down, you can see this parameters which is length. Now as of now you can see this is the required parameter. This is not the optional one. Okay, so let me try it out, and let's say the length is 1, and just execute it. So you can see we are able to see only first product. Now let me try to provide the length as 3 and execute it. You can see top 3 product is there. So this is what we want to implement, and with the help of at the rate request parameter we can implement it. Now the question is, this attribute is required, right? It is not optional. So how we can make it optional? So that I'm going to show you. So before like this is what we are hitting from the Swagger. If you want to go to the Postman, and from here also you can hit it. So what is the API? It is find all products, find all products. Okay, and here in the query parameter you can pass this length parameters. Okay, so length equal to, let's say, 2, and execute it. Here you can see top 2 products. So this is how you can also use the postman to carry out your work. Now let's say we are not passing anything. Okay, so what will be the scenario? We will be getting the bad request, right? Because this parameter is the additional parameter, right? And it is a required one, not the optional one. So how we can make it optional? So let me try to go to the code, and here you can see if you'll go inside the request parameter, value is equal to length, and now you can use this required is equal to false, and now you can run it. And now if you'll go to the Swagger, let it run first, and then try to refresh the Swagger page. So you can see it is up on the port number 9000. Go to the Swagger page, and as of now you can see this is required one, right? Now let me try to refresh it, and here you can see this is not a required as of now. And if you try to hit this find all, let's say what is happening. You can see this is 500 error we are getting, okay, because we are passing this as a null, okay, and that is not being handled. So if you'll go to the IntelliJ, and here you can see this length is present but cannot be translated into a null value, okay, due to being declared as a primitive type, okay. So here we have declared the, okay, let me try to, here you can see the length is declared as a int, not a integer, which is a wrapper class. So here it is defined as a int, which is a primitive one. So either you can try with the wrapper class. Let me try to do it with the wrapper class and try to run it and then see. Now it is up. Go to the browser, refresh this page, and let it try it out. Execute it. Still we are getting this, right? Let me try to go to the IntelliJ, and here you can see uh, length is null, so that is why it is not able to invoke this API. Okay, so what we can do, we can handle this situation. Okay, so let's say when we are passing nothing from the URL in the form of parameters, then in that scenario I want to set the length default as a 1. Okay, so how we can do that? So let's say let me try to catch it in the list of product. Okay, so I just want to, like, when we are sending nothing from the URL, then that time the length would be 1. Okay, so let me try to put a if condition here. So if length is equal to null, then make length as equal to 1. Okay, so it will return top 1. So that is okay. Now let me try to directly return it. So we are good. Now let me try to run it. So this length is optional as of now, right? But because we were using, we are not sending any value, so it is becoming null. Now we have by default set it as a 1 in the code. We don't need to provide the length here in the URL, right? Here in the URL you can see we are not going to provide, but by default it will take it 1 because we have changed the code as of now. So let me try to go to the IntelliJ and then see our application is up. And if we'll go here and refresh this page, and as of now you can see we are not providing any length, and go to the try it out and execute it. And here you can see you are able to see the top one. We are not providing any additional parameters here. Okay, so you can also try it out with the postman as well. So if we'll hit this, you can see we are getting by default the first one product. So you can see this at the rate request parameter annotation. Let me try to go here. So you can see this at the rate request parameter annotation can be used both ways. It can be used to provide the additional parameter as a mandatory, or to provide the additional parameter as a optional. Okay, so that thing it can help us in doing. But when we are using at the rate path variable, we need to mandatorily provide that parameters in the form of a URL, right? But here when we are using at the rate request parameter, we can use it is as a optional or the mandatory, both. Most of the time it is used as a optional. Okay, so this is how you can use at the rate request parameter, and this is about the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.